Hidden in plain sight, the 1961, 2005, and 2011 USA pennies might just hold secrets worth thousands or even millions of dollars. These everyday coins could turn ordinary pocket change into a treasure trove thanks to rare and fascinating mint errors. Could one of these valuable pennies be sitting unnoticed in your collection? Stay with us as we uncover the jaw-dropping details behind these hidden gems and show you exactly what to look for. Let's talk about a coin that you might just overlook in your pocket change. It's small, seemingly ordinary, and most people wouldn't think twice before tossing it into a jar. But what if I told you that this very coin, an everyday 2005 US penny, could be worth not just hundreds, not just thousands, but possibly even millions of dollars? It all depends on a few hidden details. The 2005 US penny is part of the Lincoln Cent series, a design that has been around for over a century. At first glance, there's nothing remarkable about it. The iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln graces the front, while the reverse displays the familiar Lincoln Memorial design. But beneath that copper-plated surface lies a treasure trove of potential value, waiting to be uncovered by a sharp eye and a bit of patience. Now, why does this coin matter? Why are collectors so intrigued by it? For one, 2005 marked a period in which the US Mint was producing billions of pennies each year. In fact, over 7 billion of these coins were minted in Philadelphia and Denver combined. With such a massive production scale, errors were bound to occur. And for collectors, these errors can turn a seemingly common penny into an extraordinary find. The value of a 2005 penny depends heavily on its condition, rarity, and most importantly, whether it has any minting errors. Let's start by breaking down what makes these errors so special. Minting errors occur during the coin production process, often as a result of machinery malfunction or die wear. While these flaws are considered mistakes, they're anything but worthless. In fact, they're exactly what collectors hunt for, and the rarer the error, the higher the value. Take, for instance, the famous double die error. This is one of the most sought-after errors in any coin, and it happens when a coin is struck twice, causing certain features to appear doubled. For the 2005 penny, this doubling might be found in the lettering, such as "In God We Trust, Liberty," or the date itself. A coin with a noticeable double die error can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on its clarity and condition. But that's just the beginning. Another error to watch out for is the off-center strike. This happens when the blank coin, or planchet, isn't properly aligned with the dies during the striking process. The result? A coin with part of its design missing, while the rest is off-center. These coins are highly collectible, and the more off-center they are, the more valuable they become. A 2005 penny with a significant off-center strike could easily sell for hundreds of dollars. And then there's the fascinating world of die cracks and breaks. As the minting dies wear down over time, they can develop cracks, which are then transferred onto the coins they strike. These cracks can appear as raised lines or lumps on the surface of the coin, often forming unique and eye-catching patterns. Some coins even feature a die break that creates a cud, or a raised, blob-like area on the edge of the coin. These errors are not only visually interesting, but can also command impressive prices in the collector's market. One of the most intriguing errors associated with the 2005 penny is the so-called floating roof error. If you examine the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse of the coin, you'll notice that the roof typically connects to the sides of the building. But on some 2005 pennies, the roof appears to be floating, completely detached from the rest of the structure. This happens when parts of the die become worn or clogged with debris, preventing the details from being fully struck. A penny with a clear floating roof error is a collector's dream and can sell for several times its face value. Now, you might be wondering, how do you find these errors? Do you need specialized equipment or years of experience to spot them? Not at all. All it takes is a little patience and a keen eye. Start by carefully inspecting your coins under good lighting. A magnifying glass or digital microscope can help you spot subtle details like doubling or die cracks. Pay close attention to the date, mint mark, and key design elements like the Lincoln Memorial or the lettering. But errors aren't the only factor that determines the value of a 2005 penny. The coin's condition, or grade, plays a huge role as well. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating better condition. A penny in mint state, meaning it shows no signs of wear and tear, can be worth significantly more than one that's been in circulation. If you think you've found a valuable coin, consider having it professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. A high-grade 2005 penny with an error could be worth a small fortune. To illustrate just how valuable these coins can be, let's look at some real-life examples. A collector in Ohio recently discovered a 2005 penny with a dramatic off-center strike while sorting through a roll of coins from the bank. After having it graded, the coin sold at auction for over $700. Another collector stumbled upon a double-die 2005 penny at a local flea market, purchasing it for just a few cents. That coin later sold for over $1,200. But the most jaw-dropping discoveries often involve coins with multiple errors. Imagine finding a 2005 penny with both a double die and an off-center strike. Such a coin would be a true rarity, and its value could easily soar into the thousands. These stories aren't just isolated incidents. They're proof that valuable coins are still out there, waiting to be discovered. If you're serious about hunting for 2005 pennies, there are a few strategies you can use to increase your chances. Start by checking your pocket change and any coin jars you have lying around. You'd be surprised how often rare coins end up in circulation simply because people don't know their value. Another option is to buy rolls of pennies from your local bank and search through them systematically. This method, known as coin roll hunting, is a favorite among collectors and can yield some incredible finds. You can also look for uncirculated mint sets from 2005, which often contain coins in pristine condition. While these sets can be a bit more expensive, they're a great way to acquire high-quality coins with the potential for rare errors. And don't forget to keep an eye on online marketplaces and auctions. Many collectors sell error coins they've already identified, giving you the chance to add valuable pieces to your collection. As we build toward the most valuable discoveries, let's talk about the rarest and most expensive 2005 pennies ever found. One of the top examples is a double-die obverse penny graded MS-67 by PCGS. The doubling was so prominent and well-preserved that the coin sold for over $5,000 at auction. Another extraordinary find was a penny with a massive die crack running across Lincoln's face, coupled with a prominent cut on the edge. This coin, graded in mint state, fetched a record-breaking price of $8,000. But the ultimate prize would be a 2005 penny with a unique, never-before-seen error. These one-of-a-kind coins are the holy grail for collectors and can command astronomical prices. It's not unheard of for such coins to sell for six figures or more, especially if they're in top condition. So, what makes the 2005 penny so special? It's not just its design or its history. It's the possibility that, hidden among billions of ordinary coins, there's a rare gem waiting to be discovered. A coin that could change the life of the person who finds it. And that's the magic of coin collecting. The thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the knowledge that even the smallest, most overlooked objects can hold incredible value. As you sort through your coins, remember that every penny tells a story. And who knows, the next time you pick up a 2005 US penny, you might just be holding a piece of history and a fortune in your hand. The 2011 US penny might seem like just another coin in your pocket, but what if I told you some of these pennies could be worth thousands, or even millions, of dollars? That's right. A coin so common you've likely overlooked it could hold the key to a small fortune. The secret lies in its hidden details, minting anomalies, and the stories it carries. Stay with me as we uncover what makes the 2011 penny so fascinating, how to identify rare and valuable error coins, and why collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these little treasures. Let's start by understanding what makes the 2011 penny unique. Like most modern pennies, it features Victor D. Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, a design that's been a staple since 1909. The reverse side, however, showcases the Union shield, symbolizing unity and strength. But while the design itself isn't rare, the true magic lies in how these coins were minted and how sometimes the process didn't go as planned. The standard specifications for the 2011 penny are deceptively simple. It's composed of a zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper, weighs 2.5 grams, and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. These details might seem insignificant, but they're critical when identifying errors. A slight variation in weight, for example, could signal a planchet error, a blank that wasn't cut or prepared correctly before being struck. One of the most fascinating aspects of coin collecting is the world of minting errors. These errors occur during production and can drastically increase a coin's value. For the 2011 penny, there are several key types of errors to look out for. One of the most popular is the double die error, where parts of the design appear doubled due to misalignment during the striking process. Look closely at the letters in Liberty, the date, or the motto, "In God We Trust." If you notice any doubling, you could be holding on to a highly valuable coin. Off-center strikes are another sought-after error. These occur when a coin isn't properly aligned during the strike, leaving part of the design missing. The more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin becomes, especially if the date and mint mark are still visible. Then there are BIE errors, named for the small die cracks that sometimes appear between the B and E in Liberty. While these cracks might seem like minor imperfections, collectors prize them for their rarity and uniqueness. Cut errors, caused by die breaks, are another fascinating anomaly. These often appear as raised blobs of metal, typically near the edge of the coin, where a portion of the die has broken away. The result is a coin with a distinctive and irregular feature, one that can make it highly desirable to collectors. Let me share a real-life story to illustrate just how exciting these finds can be. A few years ago, a collector purchased a roll of pennies from a bank, hoping to find something interesting. Among the ordinary coins, they discovered a 2011 penny with a dramatic double die error on the obverse side. After having it authenticated and graded, the coin sold at auction for thousands of dollars. It was a life-changing moment, and all it took was a keen eye and a bit of patience. But you don't have to rely solely on luck to identify valuable coins. There are practical tools and techniques that can help you spot errors with ease. A jeweler's loupe or a magnifying glass is essential for examining fine details like doubling or die cracks. A digital scale can also be useful for detecting weight discrepancies that might indicate a planchet error. And don't forget to check reliable online databases or reference books to compare your findings with known error varieties. Now, let's talk about why these errors are so valuable. It all comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. Coins with significant errors are rare because the U.S. Mint has strict quality control measures in place. When an error does slip through, it's often a one-of-a-kind or extremely limited occurrence, making it highly desirable to collectors. The condition of the coin also plays a major role. A coin with minimal wear and tear is always more valuable than one that's heavily circulated. And, of course, demand is key. Error coins have a devoted following of collectors willing to pay a premium for unique pieces. One of the most exciting things about collecting pennies is the possibility of finding something truly extraordinary. For example, there are rumors of 2011 pennies struck on planchets intended for other coins, such as dimes or nickels. These so-called transitional errors are incredibly rare and can fetch astronomical prices at auction. Imagine finding a penny that weighs significantly less or more than 2.5 grams. It could be one of these rare transitional errors, and its value could be life-changing. As you search for valuable coins, it's important to preserve your finds properly. Coins should be stored in protective holders or flips to prevent scratches and environmental damage. Humidity and temperature fluctuations can also affect a coin's condition, so a controlled storage environment is essential. And if you believe you've found something truly special, consider having it authenticated and graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade not only confirms the coin's authenticity but also provides an objective assessment of its condition, which can significantly increase its value. By now, you're probably wondering just how valuable these error coins can be. The answer might surprise you. Let's take a look at some of the most extraordinary examples. A 2011 penny with a dramatic off-center strike recently sold for over $1,000, while a double die obverse error fetched nearly $5,000 at auction. And those are just the more common errors. Rare transitional errors, or coins with unique combinations of mistakes, can easily reach six figures or more. But the real excitement comes from the possibility of discovering something entirely new, an error that hasn't been documented before. Imagine being the first to uncover a previously unknown variety of the 2011 penny. Not only would it be a thrilling find, but it could also make headlines in the numismatic world and command an astronomical price at auction. As we near the end of this journey, let's reflect on what makes the 2011 penny so special. It's a coin that embodies history, craftsmanship, and the endless potential for discovery. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, there's something magical about searching for these hidden treasures. And who knows, the next time you check your pocket change, you might just find a penny worth far more than 1 cent. So, take a closer look at the coins around you. Examine them with curiosity and care. Because in the world of numismatics, even the smallest detail can lead to the biggest discoveries. Could your 2011 penny be the next great find? Only time and a bit of searching will tell. In the world of coin collecting, certain coins have the ability to skyrocket in value, often due to something as simple as a minting mistake, an error that makes a coin extraordinarily rare. One such coin, the 1961 US penny, has quietly become a sought-after treasure, especially for those who know where to look and how to identify the subtle signs that can make it worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. But what makes the 1961 penny so special? While most pennies from 1961 are nothing more than a piece of change, a small fraction of these coins were struck with rare errors that could turn them into high-value collectibles. These errors are not just minor imperfections. They are anomalies that collectors would pay a premium for. In this video, we'll break down how these errors occur, how to spot them, and how a single penny could be worth a small fortune if you happen to find one of these rare gems. Stick with us, and by the end, you'll know exactly what to look for. The 1961 penny was minted as part of the long-standing Lincoln series, which began in 1909. These pennies, often referred to as wheat pennies due to the design on the reverse side, are an iconic symbol of U.S. currency. But just because a coin is old or familiar doesn't mean it's valuable. The value of a penny depends on various factors, like its condition, rarity, and, most importantly, the errors it may have. Let's start by understanding the specifications of the 1961 penny. It's made from 95% copper, with the remaining 5% composed of tin and zinc. The coin weighs about 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. But these specifications are just the baseline. What truly makes some of these coins worth so much is when they deviate from the norm. Now, when it comes to minting, it's not as simple as stamping the design onto a coin. The process is incredibly intricate, involving high-speed presses that create thousands of coins every minute. Occasionally, the machinery makes mistakes, and these mistakes are what we call errors. The 1961 penny is no exception. While most of the coins from this year came out of the mint looking perfectly normal, a small number were minted with unique imperfections that would make any collector's heart skip a beat. Let's talk about these errors. The first and most common type we see in the 1961 penny is the off-center strike. An off-center strike occurs when the coin is not perfectly aligned with the press. This causes the design to be imprinted unevenly, with parts of the image cut off or appearing off-center. These coins are rare, and the more off-center the design is, the more valuable the coin becomes. In some cases, an off-center 1961 penny could fetch a few $100s, but with the right amount of misalignment, it can sell for thousands. One famous example of an off-center penny came from a collector in 2011 who found a 1961 penny that was struck nearly 75% off-center. The penny sold for $1,500 at an auction, an incredible amount for a penny that, at first glance, might just seem like a mistake. But to collectors, it's a gem. Next, we have double strikes. This happens when a coin is struck more than once, resulting in overlapping designs. The 1961 penny is no stranger to this error, and these coins are highly sought after. A double-struck penny may have Lincoln's image slightly shifted, or you might notice the date being duplicated or misaligned. These errors can be subtle, so it's essential to examine the coin closely. The most valuable double strikes occur when the design is offset in such a way that it creates a noticeable ghosting effect. One particularly rare and valuable double-struck 1961 penny was discovered in 2007, when a collector found a specimen that had not one, but two separate strikes with perfect misalignment. This penny, in excellent condition, was sold for over $5,000, far above its face value. Then, there are repunched mint marks. The mint mark on a coin indicates where it was produced: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. However, in some cases, the mint mark is repunched, meaning the die was used to strike the mark more than once. This results in a noticeable error, where part of the mint mark is doubled or even shifted. While repunched mint marks can occur on any coin, they are particularly rare on the 1961 penny. Collectors search for these errors because they are hard to find, and when they do, they can be worth a pretty penny. A 1961D repunched mint mark has been known to sell for anywhere between $500 and $1,500, depending on its condition and the clarity of the repunch. These errors are often small, but can significantly increase the value of the coin. In some cases, a penny with a repunched mint mark could be sold for even more, especially if it is in uncirculated condition. Die cracks and cuds are another form of error that can affect the 1961 penny. Die cracks are small fissures that form in the dies used to stamp the design onto the coin. These cracks can be hard to spot unless you're looking carefully, but they create a unique pattern on the coin surface. In some cases, these cracks grow large enough to create raised areas on the coin, known as cuds. When a die crack turns into a cud, it's like a tiny, raised bump on the coin that adds to its charm. One particular 1961 penny with a noticeable die crack was auctioned off for $2,000 because of the prominent crack that ran through Lincoln's neck. For collectors, these types of errors are particularly appealing because they're less common than other errors, and the cracks themselves are like fingerprints. They make each coin unique. Then, there's the broad strike error. A broad strike occurs when a coin is struck without a collar, causing it to spread out wider than its intended diameter. This is one of the rarer errors, and it can turn a seemingly ordinary penny into a highly prized collectible. The 1961 penny is known to have a few examples of broad strikes, and these coins can fetch anywhere from $500 to $2,000, depending on the severity of the strike and its overall condition. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if I have a 1961 penny that's worth something? The answer lies in knowing what to look for. The key is careful inspection. For off-center strikes, use a magnifying glass to look at the edges of the coin. If the design looks shifted or incomplete, you might have found something special. Double strikes are a bit more difficult to spot, but if you notice overlapping features, like Lincoln's image or the date, you could be looking at a valuable coin. For repunched mint marks, look closely at the mint mark itself. If it appears doubled or misaligned, you've got an error on your hands. Die cracks and cuds are often harder to detect, but if you see any raised areas or visible cracks on the coin, take a closer look. Once you've identified a potential error, it's time to get the coin graded. Having a professional grading service examine your coin can significantly increase its value. Grading services like PCGS and NGC assess the condition of the coin, from the overall wear and tear to the specific characteristics of the error. A coin in mint state with a significant error can be worth far more than a well-worn one. Over the years, the value of error coins has only increased. In fact, coins like the 1961 penny, with rare and significant errors, are now part of the booming market for rare coins. As collectors and investors seek to add valuable pieces to their portfolios, finding a coin with a notable error can be a game changer. Let's take a moment to reflect on the extraordinary impact of these errors. A penny, worth just 1 cent when it was first minted, can now be worth thousands of dollars, sometimes even more, if it's the right kind of penny. The 1961 penny, with all its potential errors, has become a symbol of how something as simple as a mistake in the minting process can turn a regular coin into a highly valuable piece of history. So, the next time you find a 1961 penny, take a moment to inspect it closely. It could be worth far more than you think. Whether it's an off-center strike, a double strike, or even a repunched mint mark, there's a world of valuable errors out there waiting to be discovered. The key is knowing what to look for, understanding what makes these errors so rare, and realizing that with a little patience, you could be holding onto a coin worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions of dollars.